Welcome back to the channel. If you're studying for the SHRM-CP exam and want to feel more confident, more prepared, and a lot less overwhelmed, you are in the right place. In this video, I'm walking you through 20 SHRM-CP style practice questions that cover everything from HR competencies to compliance to real-life workplace scenarios. I'll read each question out loud, go over all the answer choices, and then explain why the correct answer is correct. So you're not just memorizing, you're actually learning how to think like HR. Whether you're weeks away from your exam or just getting started, treat this as a study session with your favorite HR friend who gets it, because I've been in your shoes, and I want you to pass with confidence. Before we get started, I know fewer than 20% of my viewers are subscribed to the channel. It would be a great help if you subscribed. It's free, and it helps the channel grow. Subscribing is quicker than leaving a comment, but if you'd like to leave a comment and let me know what types of videos you'd like to see next, I'd love to hear what you think. Now listen, if you filled up your gas tank, grabbed lunch at a restaurant, or done any kind of grocery shopping lately, you already know everything costs more than it used to. That's why I started using Upside, because if I'm going to spend the money anyway, I might as well get a little bit of it back. With Upside, you get real cash back, not points, not coupons, for everyday purchases. I use it when I get gas, and every time I do, I watch a little cash trickle back into my bank account like a reward for being a responsible adult. And honestly, I'll take every win I can get. It's free to use, super easy to set up, and works at places you're already going, like Shell, Exxon, Popeyes, and tons of local spots too. After downloading the app and setting up an account, just open the app, claim your offer pay like normal, and boom, cash back in your account within a couple hours or days. So if you're ready to stop leaving money on the table, download the Upside app and use my code ASGMV for an extra 15 cents cash back per gallon on gas and an extra 10% cash back on restaurants or grocery. Most of my local gas stations are offering up to 20 cents off per gallon when you partner with Upside for gas, so you could be eligible for upwards of 35 cents per gallon back into your pocket when you enter my code when signing up and registering for Upside. Once again, sign up for Upside with my code ASGMV for an extra 15 cents back per gallon and an extra 10% cash back when you eat out at restaurants or shop for groceries. Everyone who signs up using my code will be directly supporting the channel. Okay, if you're already using Upside to save on gas in restaurants, let me show you how to double dip, because I've got 2 referral links that can stack some serious rewards. First, the Discover It card. When you apply through my link, get approved, and make any purchase in the first 3 months, we both get a $100 statement credit. And right now, through September, they're offering 5% cash back on gas. So if you're using Upside at the pump, that's even more money back in your pocket. Now if you're more of a foodie, the American Express Gold Card is one of my favorite picks. You can earn up to 100,000 membership rewards points after spending $6,000 in your first 6 months, and I earn 15,000 points for the referral. Plus, that card gives you great rewards at restaurants and supermarkets, which, again, pairs perfectly with Upside. I'll drop both links in the description. Check them out, and let the credit card companies reward you for once. If you're looking for a great thing to use your new cards on, I highly recommend Exam Edge. Exam Edge specializes in realistic online practice tests with detailed feedback for every question. This means you're not just memorizing answers, you're actually mastering the material, which is key to acing your exam. One of their most popular categories is human resources, offering bundles of 1, 5, 10, or even 15 practice tests for certifications like the SHRM-CP and PHR. Personally, I choose the 10 or 15 test bundle. You get more questions for a better rate and even bonus freebies. What sets them apart for me is the unlimited access to unique questions. With over 1,300 for the SHRM-CP alone, you'll be well prepared and confident for exam day. Ready to take your prep to the next level? Visit the links in the description box below depending on which test you're studying for, and use the code SHIRLEY10 at checkout. That is SHRLEY10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. By using my links, you'll not only save money, but also support this channel. Let me know in the comments if you've tried Exam Edge or have any questions. Happy studying! Now, let's jump into our first practice question. Question 1. An HR professional is advising leadership on implementing a new learning management system. Which core behavioral competency is most applicable in this situation? A. Relationship management. B. Business acumen. C. Communication. D. Consultation. The correct answer is D. Consultation. When an HR professional is offering guidance on implementing a new system or process, especially something as impactful as an LMS, they're leaning into the consultation competency. This competency reflects the ability to apply HR knowledge to solve problems and advise stakeholders. While communication and business acumen are also important, the heart of this scenario is about using expertise to influence business decisions, which makes consultation the best fit. Question 2. Which of the following best describes a bona fide occupational qualification? A. A company policy that mandates retirement at age 65. B. A requirement that is essential to the job and legally justifies discrimination. C. A strategy to increase workplace diversity. D. A protected class exemption for all hiring decisions. The correct answer is B. Above is a very narrow exception to equal employment laws that allows an employer to legally hire based on characteristics like sex, religion, or age, but only when those characteristics are genuinely necessary for the job. For example, hiring only female attendants in a woman's locker room may qualify. It must be more than a preference, it has to be essential to the role. Question 3. What is the most appropriate next step after completing a job analysis? A. Write a job posting. B. Create a compensation strategy. C. Develop a job description. D. Interview potential candidates. The correct answer is C. Develop a job description. A job analysis helps HR gather data about a position's responsibilities, tasks, and required qualifications. Once you've collected that information, the next logical step is to write a job description. That description becomes the foundation for recruitment, performance evaluations, and compensation planning. Question 4. An HR manager conducts an employee engagement survey and finds that most employees feel their opinions are ignored. What's the most strategic first step? A. Launch a manager training program immediately. B. Conduct focus groups for deeper insights. C. Reissue the survey for validation. D. Create a reward system for employee feedback. The correct answer is B. Conducting focus groups for deeper insights. Surveys provide valuable data, but they don't always explain the why behind the numbers. When employees express concerns like feeling unheard, a follow-up with focus groups allows HR to gather more detailed, qualitative insights. This step shows responsiveness and helps the organization target the right solutions. Question 5. Which of the following laws primarily governs the minimum wage in the U.S.? A. FMLA. B. FLSA. C. NLRA. D. ADA. The correct answer is B. FLSA. The Fair Labor Standards Act sets federal guidelines for minimum wage, overtime pay, and child labor. It's a foundational employment law that HR professionals must understand. The other laws listed, FML, NLR, and ADA, each play critical roles in employment law, but none of them govern wage standards. Question 6. What is the primary purpose of an HR audit? A. To monitor employee morale. B. To evaluate HR systems for compliance and effectiveness. C. To assess potential hires before selection. D. To identify new HR technology. The correct answer is B. To evaluate HR systems for compliance and effectiveness. An HR audit is like a wellness check for your department. It's a structured review of your policies, procedures, and practices to ensure they're both compliant with laws and aligned with business goals. The audit helps identify gaps and areas for improvement. Question 7. A company uses a broad banding compensation structure. What is one advantage of this approach? A. Reduces internal pay equity risks. B. Provides more pay grades for specialized roles. C. Increases flexibility in rewarding performance. D. Aligns more easily with union guidelines. The correct answer is C. Increases flexibility in rewarding performance. Broad banding involves consolidating many narrow pay grades into fewer, wider salary bands. This gives managers more discretion to reward employees for performance without needing a title or grade change. However, without careful oversight, it can lead to equity concerns. Question 8. During a union campaign, a supervisor tells employees they could lose their bonuses if they unionize. This is an example of A. A protected employer communication. B. A bargaining strategy. C. An unfair labor practice. D. Constructive feedback. The correct answer is C. An unfair labor practice. Under the National Labor Relations Act, NLRA, employers cannot threaten, coerce, or retaliate against employees for participating in union activity. Suggesting that bonuses will be taken away if employees unionize is a textbook unfair labor practice. Question 9. A multinational company wants to implement a global ethics policy. What's the most important first step? A. Translate the policy into multiple languages. B. Identify shared values across cultures. C. Consult with U.S. legal counsel. D. Create a disciplinary procedure. The correct answer is B. Identify shared values across cultures. Before you can roll out a global ethics policy, you need to ensure it reflects values that resonate across geographic and cultural boundaries. Identifying those common values builds buy-in and helps ensure the policy is culturally sensitive and globally relevant. Question 10. Which of the following is an example of a lagging HR metric? A. Employee turnover rate. B. Number of applications per opening. C. Time to fill. D. Training hours per employee. The correct answer is A. Employee turnover rate. Lagging indicators reflect outcomes after they've occurred, like turnover, absenteeism, or time to productivity. Leading indicators, on the other hand, are predictive. Tracking lagging metrics like turnover helps HR measure the effectiveness of its strategies over time. Question 11. What is the primary purpose of workforce planning? A. To identify low-performing employees for termination. B. To align staffing with business goals and anticipate future talent needs. C. To track employee engagement and morale. D. To enforce organizational policies and procedures. The correct answer is B. To align staffing with business goals and anticipate future talent needs. Workforce planning ensures your organization is future-ready. It allows HR to identify skill gaps, prepare for retirements, and adjust for growth, so that staffing levels and capabilities stay aligned with business strategy. Question 12. Which federal law requires certain employers to provide continuation of group health insurance coverage after an employee separates? A. DA. B. OSHA. C. COBRA. D. ADA. The correct answer is C. COBRA. The Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act gives employees the right to continue group health coverage for a limited time after a qualifying event like resignation, layoff, or reduced work hours. Employees don't have to cover the premium, but they must offer the option to extend coverage. Question 13. An employee discloses a disability and requests an accommodation. What should the HR professional do first? A. Approve the request immediately. B. Refer the employee to their supervisor. C. Begin the interactive process to assess the request. D. Ask for the employee's medical records. The correct answer is C. Begin the interactive process to assess the request. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, employers must engage in an interactive process with the employee to explore reasonable accommodations. It's a collaborative dialogue to understand the need and explore solutions that allow the employee to perform their job. Question 14. A U.S.-based company is expanding into Japan. What global HR strategy is most appropriate if they want to adapt to local customs and labor practices? A. Ethnocentric. B. Polycentric. C. Geocentric. D. Regiocentric. The correct answer is B. Polycentric. A polycentric approach allows each international subsidiary to operate based on local norms and practices. This strategy respects local culture, values local leadership, and helps avoid cultural missteps, especially important in markets with strong national customs like Japan. Question 15. An HR director is assessing how well the HR department's activities support the company's strategic goals. This is an example of A. Workforce analysis. B. Strategic alignment. C. Operational planning. D. Tactical implementation. The correct answer is B. Strategic alignment. Strategic alignment means ensuring that every HR initiative, from hiring to performance management, supports the larger goals of the organization. In this scenario, the HR director is taking a step back to see if HR efforts are driving real business value. Question 16. Which type of interview is most effective for reducing bias and improving consistency? A. Panel interview. B. Structured interview. C. Behavioral interview. D. Informal interview. The correct answer is B. Structured interview. A structured interview uses a consistent set of questions for all candidates, which reduces bias and improves reliability. It also makes it easier to compare applicants fairly and defend hiring decisions if they're ever challenged. Question 17. What is the primary goal of a stay interview? A. To identify poor performers. B. To complete compliance documentation. C. To understand what motivates employees to stay. D. To determine eligibility for promotion. The correct answer is C. To understand what motivates employees to stay. Stay interviews are proactive retention tools. They give managers insight into what employees value, what might tempt them to leave, and how the company can create a more engaging experience before someone reaches the point of resignation. Question 18. Which of the following best defines constructive discharge? A. A voluntary resignation without notice. B. A legal termination following misconduct. C. A resignation resulting from unbearable working conditions. D. A mutual agreement to end employment. The correct answer is C. A resignation resulting from unbearable working conditions. Constructive discharge occurs when a workplace becomes so hostile or intolerable that a reasonable person feels forced to resign. Legally, it can be treated as an involuntary termination, which can open the door to wrongful termination claims. Question 19. A company implements a compressed workweek schedule. What is one potential benefit of this arrangement? A. Increased overtime pay. B. Reduced job satisfaction. C. Lower absenteeism. D. Higher turnover. The correct answer is C. Lower absenteeism. Compressed work weeks can improve work-life balance by giving employees more consecutive days off. This added flexibility can lead to better morale and lower absenteeism, especially when the arrangement fits the nature of the work. Question 20. Which of the following is the best example of indirect compensation? A. Stock options. B. Sales commission. C. Base salary. D. Employer-paid health insurance. The correct answer is D. Employer-paid health insurance. Indirect compensation includes benefits that are part of the total rewards package, but not paid as cash. Things like health insurance, paid time off, and retirement contributions. These perks play a big role in attracting and retaining talent. And that's it for today's practice session. I hope these questions helped you feel a little more prepared and a lot more confident. Remember, studying for this exam isn't about being perfect. It's about building your knowledge, trusting your experience, and showing up as the HR pro you already are. If this video helped you out, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share it with a fellow HR bestie who's studying too. You've got this, and I'll be right here cheering you on every step of the way. Also, don't forget to check the links in the description box below for a few of my favorite finds, including Upside, Discover, American Express, and Exam Edge. I only share the things I personally use and love, so be sure to take a peek before you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Question 20. Which of the following is the best example of indirect compensation? A. Stock options. B. Sales commission. C. Base salary.